Man, I will be so glad when summer gets here. It's 22 degrees out here in the shop today. Anyway, let's take a crack at this Old Hag. This is from the Lockpicking Lebowski, and he took time to draw a little picture on there, and he took advantage of the Schlage logo to make up the name of this lock. We do have a key, but I'm kind of afraid to open it. It says, unleashes the spirit of the Old Hag. I've had enough of that already. But hopefully we don't have to use that key. Let's see if we can get into this lock without it. It is, as I said, a Schlage core. And by the way, he's gone to the trouble to make these removable. This is sealed up with tape, obviously to keep me out of it. But we don't need to go in that way, hopefully. Turn that a bit. Let's get some zooming going. Let's get some hand-warming action. And let's see if we can get in this thing. I'm going to try if I can find my 50,000. See if that ought to fit. Okay, beauteous. And Schlage keyway. Sometimes you can pick from the bottom. It just depends on who made the core. This, unfortunately, is not one of them. I'm going to have to pick from the ledge on the left side. And I've counted these already. There are 6 pins, but just want to make sure. All right, we got some flopping going on here. Got some security pins, clearly. It is a challenge lock. All the way in. And let's see what we got here from the Lockpicking Lebowski. Okay, that was pin 3. That was pin 2. I got a fault set going. There's some counter rotation on 1. Okay, that was 5. I got a little turn on the cord, a little click. I think we got some serrations. There's pin 6, little counter rotation. Still got it. Slipped off of him. I think that's pin 5. More counter rotation on him. Let's double check. Oh, no, it was 4. The shaft of the pick was brushing against him as I was reaching for 5. Okay, got a good fault set going still, so we're on the right track. Since we have such a deep fault set, that tells me that it's either a T-pin or a spool. There it is, pin 3 again. See if I can get on him a little better. There we go. Counter rotation. I heard something drop. Come on. Now I've lost the counter rotation. Oh, there was pin 5 again. So we're back to the fault set. Pin 1 and 2, I believe, are completely set. There it is again, pin 4. I guess I didn't get him. Wow. I don't think I got him that time either. He's really unwinding the core. He's deep, probably some kind of deep spool. Definitely got some serration action in here. All right, I'm on 6. I'm getting counter rotation, very slight. And there we go. I didn't see any Old Hag jump out of there. That's probably a good thing. She'll come out here in the garage screaming at me a little later, I'm sure. But no, I shouldn't say that because sometimes my wife does watch. Got it. Honey, I'm sorry. Didn't mean that. Just kidding. Just joking. All right, let's get this baby open. I do have a key, so we can lock the Old Hag back up. And let's go ahead and start pulling stuff out. Get that out of the way. Get a board over here. Get that junk out of here. Unzoom. Let's see what the Lockpicking Lebowski's come up with. I'm betting we got serrated and some spools and possibly a couple of serrated chambers. Although it wasn't that crunchy. Just a lot of counter rotation. All right, let's get this. How easy was that? All right, very high cuts in the back, hiding behind these low cuts. Exactly what you'd be looking for. Pretty rough going in there. All right, get a good follower like this one. All right, from the top here, I don't see anything unusual. Looks like that might have some starting. 2 and 3 might have some threads. Let's pull these guys out to be sure. Yeah, my goodness. All of them have threads. All right, we had a wafer in chamber number 1. That was odd. There must be a reason for that. We had a wafer in chamber number 2 as well. All these are standard pins. And all of them, every single one of them have beautiful threads in them. Very well done, nice and sharp. The perfect size tap was used in that. Let's take a look, see what we got upstairs. Man, it's cold in here today. Okay, now look at this. The first one is actually below the shear line. So I suspect the reason that we had this little wafer in chamber 1 was probably to make that perfectly flush. So I probably overpicked that guy just a little bit. It is a spool. Put these guys back where they belong. So that was the sequence. I'll bet we have something similar in chamber 2. Chamber 2 does come above the shear line with the spring. See if I can grab the top of that guy. It's a really sharp looking. Ah, I dumped 2 pins. My bad here. Okay, we had a T-pin and a spool, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure which came out of which. I'll bet the T-pin came out of chamber 2 where we had that wafer, and probably 3 had the spool. Totally my mistake there. This is a long spring on chamber 3 sticking out of there, so I'm going to go ahead and pull him. The other 2 springs are not even visible yet. All right, I can see some threads in chamber 3 from here. Chamber 4 is a spool. Also a very long spring sticking up there, blocking our way. And he's a different spring. Come on, okay, number 4 is a T-pin. That is a T-pin with another long spring, it looks like. Again, different, looks like he's different from the other 2. And the last one, I'm going to pull it around so you can see this. He is barely breaking the shear line there. Come on, baby, focus for me. Get some cooperation going here. Anyway, he just barely breaks that shear line. Very small spring. All right, I'm going to take him out, hopefully. Let me put that follower in from the front so we don't accidentally dump all the springs. Come on out of there, you little guy. Okay, he was a spool, commercial spool in chamber 6. And I'm going to go ahead and start dumping from the rear. See if we can dump these pins out. Oh, I got a special beater block for this. Yeah, man. If I can line it up just right. Come on out of there. Okay. Number 6 is not cooperating. There is a spring in there, it looks like. There are also, it looks like threads in there too. So let's see if we can lure him out. Nope. Those are, looks like just threads in there. I don't even see a spring in number 6. Nope. Springless. There's no spring in chamber 6. Number 5. Number 5 we already got. 4 we already got. 3 we got. So let's go start from the front. Let's dump out number 1 and number 2. Guys, I'm not seeing a spring pop out of here. I don't know. I don't see any spring in there. I see threaded chambers. There is a spring in chamber 2, and he's a tiny, tiny little guy. Like half of a spring. I don't know what to tell you. There are no other springs. So we only have 4 of the chambers with springs, and pretty much they're all different. I'll show you that a little closer. We have some threaded chambers in here. I'm looking in and I'm seeing chamber number 3 and 4 are both threaded. 5 is threaded, but not all the way. That's pretty interesting. He's probably tapped from the top and he went down a little bit far. Chamber 6 has the same thing. He's tapped almost all the way. There's like 1 or 2 threads missing on the inside of the chamber. So for all effect and purposes, he is threaded. All right, that's what we got in the Old Hag. Let's take a look here. Again, chamber's all threaded, and there's what we were looking at. I really don't know why we had this guy here, other than to break that below the shear line, but that probably made chamber 1 a little bit easier to pick. This guy obviously was for the T-pin, to keep it from plunging too deep. The rest of these are all spools except this T-pin right here, which was oriented just like that. Anyway, there you go, the Old Hag. So, Lockpicking Lebowski, thank you, sir, for the lock. Everybody else, stay safe, stay legal, and I'm sorry I unleashed the spirit of the Old Hag, but it had to be done. Thanks, guys.